Next round cocktail hour. It is live. It is 3:30 on Tuesday. We appreciate you guys tuning in with Kelly Hunter, Brittany Wagner, Lance Taylor. How was your vacation?
Amazing.
How long we got? How many days were you gone?
I was gone like 10 days, but I had a family wedding, and then which I want to get your opinion on later. And then we had the family vacay, but it's a no boys allowed family vacation because my mom decided that years ago.
I wonder if you had like a brother or a son.
Oh, well, we don't. So
okay, so that's why. So is it one of those things like your mom's like, I'm not going to get remarried, so just in case you guys do, you can't bring a dude.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Okay. She didn't have anybody, and she wanted to make sure.
You know what's going to happen here?
Of the family that we never were able to invite.
Here's what's going to happen. Kennedy is going to start dating somebody seriously like her, when she's 19, 20, and she's going to be like, I'm not coming unless I can bring Johnny.
And we have to have a ring together. Married, and so my sister's husband, he has to sit it out, man, because my mom's like,
you know what? In a year, he will appreciate that. I'm sure.
Yeah. At first you're like, oh, I feel left out. Then after a while, you're like, that's okay, y'all. Yeah. You'll go.
It's a good time. It was a good time. Weather was great there. Weather sucked here, but for some reason it never came south.
Where were y'all?
We were in Orange Beach, and it still like never rained really. It was beautiful weather. I don't know. Weird.
We missed you.
I did. Have y'all ever been to the like hospital or urgent care on a vacay?
Twice. Once with Jack and once with Leighton.
I didn't know it was a vacation if you did not.
Oh, and once with myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because we're just more adventurous or just shit happens when you go out of town?
I think it's a combination.
Footloose and fancy free, and you're
because I'm boring.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah, I've had two kids get strep. Jack got strep Memorial Day weekend years ago, and we had to go. And then Leighton got strep.
Ear infection or something.
Leighton got strep on my birthday last year, and we went.
Well, it was my first urgent care visit.
Well, tell us.
And my first urgent care visit on a vacation.
Was it you?
It was me.
What did you do?
Apparently, so I had an infection.
Okay.
And I am one of these people that thinks I can cure all things myself. You know? And there's just some things you can't.
Okay. Do you do like oils and lotions and potions and all the witchcraft stuff? Okay.
Very vague on the infection, though.
I have a UTI.
Okay.
And I just thought I thought I did. I didn't know. And I really didn't have all the symptoms that you normally have when you have a UTI. I was like, maybe not. I don't know. But I just thought I got this. I had this when I was at the family wedding. So I go to Walgreens, I buy all the things. I'm down in some cranberry juice. I totally think I've got this in the bag. And I feel better. Yeah. And then I get to the vacation and I literally woke up and I thought I was dying, y'all. I thought, I'm Googling and I thought my appendix had ruptured. I mean, I've had a kidney stone and I've always said that the kidney stone was worse than labor for me. Okay. This was beating the kidneys. It was crazy.
Did you drive yourself?
Crazy pain. I did. I just got up and was like, I'm going to die. Yeah. If I don't, I literally thought I have an hour to live.
Right.
I got it.
This is how it ends.
Wait, where do you go when you're in Orange Beach? Do you go to Foley or?
No, I was right across literally by the Publix at Orange Beach. Publix. Yeah. There's an AFC urgent care.
Yeah.
Right there.
24 hour
center. Yeah.
Okay.
It was open on Sunday. No, it wasn't 24 hour, but it opened at 8 and I was at the door
So antibiotics, you were good?
Ready. I went in and they did it, and the guy was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Did they shoot you up with anything
good?
You
have a massive infection. And I'm like, And I think at this point it had
Can they just tell from blood work?
I was going to say, because it make you throw up. It can go all the way up there.
It was bad. But yeah, it had spread, and he gave me And it's
I always thought
I felt better.
UTIs were associated with women. My old man, though, when he was going through all of his medical issues last year, before he passed away in May, he got a UTI late winter, early spring, and he was mentally a different person. UTIs, I didn't realize can make you crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, a lot of times it's from not going to the bathroom when you need to. So
right now, I've got to take a piss, but you know what? We're live.
You're going to get a UTI.
I'm going to hold it for 30 minutes. I'll be okay.
I know what to do.
I'm drinking my cranberry juice. Why don't you just piss behind ears?
School teachers get them, especially elementary school teachers get them because they're they've got, 21 6-year-olds, and they can't just leave them in the classroom.
But you can also get it from like banging a skank, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I really wouldn't. I wouldn't want to put a label.
I wish
on
that was the story.
Thing.
Not the skank, but no, that's not the story. But I don't know. Anyway.
Hey, it is Next Row Cocktail Hour. Brittany Wagner, Kelly Hunter. I'm Lance Taylor. It's brought to you by Blakelee's Bouquets, anniversary arrangements, birthday flowers, funeral flowers, wedding flowers. They are the best in the business. Go to blakeleesbouquets.com. We appreciate everything these guys do.
I got the one time that like urgent cares, everything failed me. Thanksgiving Day. They are not open.
What do you do
on Thanksgiving Day? I woke up that morning and I knew I had the flu. Like I woke up Thanksgiving morning and I was like, this is the flu. And so like I called around, nobody was like, and sometimes
was everybody sitting on the couch going, who in the hell's gonna fix dinner now?
But here's the no, it was kind of that, but like sometimes they'll say like opening at 8, but they don't recognize that it's a holiday Thursday or whatever. So I drove around and I'm like and finally I called UAB and they're like, yeah, none of them are open. You can come to the emergency room. I'm like, I am not going to the emergency room. I was just trying to find somebody to give me, like whatever anti-flu drug there was or something.
Yeah.
But so I was talking to like a doctor and they're like, yeah, like maybe sometimes they can't find a resident or somebody who wants to come.
Well, I was having like an old person moment. Like, what did we do before urgent care? What would I have done?
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
like old people do.
That's why they had like you always talk about like a hot water bottle and stuff. I don't know.
I did all the oils and the pills
and how did that work?
So I was in, I don't remember what time it was. It wasn't long ago, but I had the GPS going while I was driving. And I was just like, I lived in LA before GPS. We had a Thomas guide is what it was called. It was about yay thick. And you'd flip to whatever neighborhood you were going and you had to navigate it. And I just don't know how we live without GPS.
I think about that too all the time. Well, and even
the best was?
Did you get your trip tick? Did you ever go to AAA and get your trip tick?
No.
Okay.
But I had a map in my back seat.
Yeah.
I would pull it out. And then MapQuest, I would always print.
MapQuest would get dicked up sometimes, though. Like you'd run out of the sheet
And two, like what if you decided to go somewhere you didn't, like MapQuest, you printed where you were going. Well, what if you
a road was closed?
Somewhere else.
Like if you're going to a game downtown and all of a sudden traffic's only going one way on the street that they told you.
You know the true frontiers were back in the day?
Oh my gosh.
The Domino's pizza drivers. Because imagine you had to have the pizza at a house in 30 minutes. You didn't have GPS.
I know.
So you just had to know those damn back streets, right?
They had those huge maps on the walls inside the Domino's pizza.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do you have a photographic memory? You look at it and you're like,
yes, they did.
Like I knew my borough. I still do like Homewood. All parts of it, I could tell you. Vestavia, I'm pretty good getting around Vestavia. Mountain Brook's complete maze.
Yes.
But I still remember a lot of these streets from kids. But I mean, the Domino's guy was good because they got it there in 30 minutes. Now, they T-boned and killed a couple of people on the way, and they cut that out.
They cut the 30 minutes of free out. But that's one thing I told, like when my oldest daughter, who just turned 16 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. But I was like, this is something they're having to learn to do, to drive and either look or drive and listen. That's something like we learned to do that more as adults versus age 16 when they're like, turn right. Like, where? Which one turn right? And they're like, do they mean this right or this right? And so, that's better than sitting there with a map.
Have you guys noticed they do different celebrity voices for Waze?
I've got the Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
Oh, wait, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Christina Aguilera was mine.
I used to have an Australian accent guy, but I didn't know I could do a celebrity. Is Bradley Cooper on there? Matthew McConaughey?
Cookie Monster had been on and finally I thought my husband was going to throw my phone out the window. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like he'd be like,
I think I would want Matthew McConaughey's voice.
He's down the road.
I know.
You know what's scary is everybody's figured out the house he's staying in.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Well, I feel bad for him because every time he goes anywhere, people take a picture with him. I'm like, leave him alone.
Does that mean that you know?
I know. Can you tell me
I
later?
like
to hear by everybody.
You're going to throw rocks at his window tonight?
I'm going to serenade him.
Tell you what, Lance is going to take a quick bathroom break. And Brittany and I'll be right back.
If I was him, though, I would get some kind of secure penthouse, I think.
Is he just... Well, don't disclose his location.
Yeah,
well, maybe is his family with him? Because is his family with him?
His son was, and I don't know if his wife is. I don't know. Some comments. Michael, you threw this up earlier. We're going to get to wildlife encounters here in a second. But he says, how's the dog search going for me? I know a guy that raises Rhodesian Ridgebacks, great dogs. They're very similar to Vizslas. The look is similar. That's all I would say, Michael. The personalities really aren't. And I'm just dead set on another Vizsla. I just got to have the right fit. I can't have somebody, I got to have somebody do the puppy stage for me.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask. How old are you looking to get this Vizsla?
1 to 4.
Because this is a time commitment.
Oh, it is.
Getting a dog, and because also you can have somebody else train the dog, but you are gonna also have to.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I just don't have all of the hours that puppy training.
And dude, it's a lot.
What it consumes.
Well, you do, but you choose to spend them.
I really don't.
In other pursuits of wildlife.
Okay, so if I leave my house on certain days at 7 a.m. and then I'm not home till 5 o'clock, I cannot imagine what a Vizsla puppy would do in 10 hours.
No, but then like if you
is that your reality?
But also
no, that's not. I'm just saying there's certain days that are like that. I had a day like that last week. That's not every day.
Well, I mean, like there are days during the school year when we're gonna have a day like that. So I get up at 5 and walk the dog for an hour, and then get home, and then by the time we get back in, that means somebody else is gonna have to walk the dog for another hour.
I don't know that it's a Vizsla. Like, I don't know that any dog could sit in a crate that long.
Any young dog.
And I honestly, I don't want to crate.
You would have to.
I don't want to crate the dog. I never created Ladybird. And Philip's right. There's never going to be another Ladybird. I don't even want to think about it.
He'll get all.
I know, but it's okay.
It's fine.
Okay, so wildlife encounter. So last Wednesday night, I do trivia at Odie's every Wednesday night. Most people know that. So I get home. And I went to decompress. It was kind of cool that night, or cooler. So I went to decompress on my screened in, and I left the door open. And this has nothing to do with what happens, but the door's open, but peripheral. And it was after we were talking ghost stories last week. And I see a shadow. And there's nobody in the house but me. I see a shadow come by. And I immediately knew what it was. Like, I wasn't thinking ghost or somebody's in the house. I was like, there's a fucking bird in my house again. This is the third time it's happened. And so I go in there, and this dumbass bird, I leave the back door open, and then I open the front doors where it's got plenty of room. And so I'm just kind of swatting, getting it, try to go out. And anyway, an hour and a half later, I'm dying of sweat. One of the best workouts I've ever had. I ended up having to kill the bird.
With what?
I was throwing tennis ball nonstop.
Were you going Elvis Presley and just you started shooting up the house?
No,
okay.
But I had what was like one of those dust rods. I don't know what the hell they're called.
But Swiffer kind of.
It didn't have the Swiffer on it. It was just a metal pole. So I had that, and I had a tennis ball. So I was firing the tennis ball. And so I hit it a couple of times, and some feathers had gone off and stuff.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah.
You didn't call in any?
No. I mean, it was 12 o'clock at night.
Okay. This is the kind of call you can call me for.
Okay.
12 o'clock at night. And I've got a whole crew that we could,
Well, so I had tennis rackets. There was a spell a couple of years ago I was playing tennis. So I went to get one of the tennis rackets once I got really fed up with the bird.
Oh, no.
And the tennis rackets apparently had moved out of my house. Oh. So the tennis rackets weren't there. So then I went back downstairs. I was so pissed at this time. Really, I'm sweating profusely. All my AC is going out of the house. This bird is shitting.
Oh, yeah.
And I've still got some shit I got to take care of.
You're scaring him to death.
I opened the door. I tried to be nice. So I go downstairs and I find a can of Raid and a wiffle ball bat. And so then I go back up and I throw the tennis ball, and then I've got the bat. And when it comes my way, I take a swing and I finally clip it. I hit it with the tennis ball first, clipped it, and it kind of flutters and it lands on above the door. There's like this little space area where he shit everywhere. Yeah. But he landed there, and then he kind of got his shit together, and he got up and flew again, and I hit him again. And so he went down in the corner, and I ran down with that Raid, and I unloaded like the whole bottle. It was like a brown sparrow or a thrasher.
Went full Saddam Hussein on
it. Looked like, you remember Cindy's cinnamon rolls with all the frosting on it? That's what the bird looked like. Yeah. And then I took it and I threw it in the bush.
You threw it? I might have put it in like a plastic grocery bag or something.
Well, I just figured if I have another animal that's dicking around in my bushes, it's 2 birds, 1 stone, literally, right?
Yeah, you sent a message.
So have you guys ever had the animal encounter?
Birds, the weirdest one is one day the kids were playing in the backyard. And there's a dead bird back here. We have 2 cats. It's like, okay, look. It was a hawk. A dead hawk in my backyard. And I'm thinking, this can't be a good sign from nature that there's a dead. So I'm like looking at trying to see if there's like a bullet or something. And we could not figure it out. So then like the next day I went and did a proper burial for this thing. So I was like, I'm like
Karma.
I need to let the universe know
You should be afraid. Karma.
I'm doing the right putting.
The bird?
Mine was a hawk, so I felt more like this thing. This is one of the apex predators up here.
No,
These things can,
yeah, we got a lot of hawks, and I appreciate them because what they do is they take care of snake problems around.
Too, right?
Yeah,
Mice and
yeah.
snakes.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you remember the conversations we one time had of what is more dangerous to get bitten by, an eastern diamondback rattlesnake, or a stripper.
I think
we
just
had this,
because
we had
the
this
HIV rate has gone down, I think I would take the stripper.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to have. You're getting shots.
That's the only reason.
You're on an antibiotic either way.
I think we'd even isolate as to what maybe city or region the stripper was
on
from.
that reason for a minute.
Well, I mean, you might get tetanus from the stripper.
Tetanus?
Yeah, I would think.
I had to get tetanus shot for this last week.
Yeah.
But I think we'd even isolated like what city or region the stripper might be from and whether it was more dangerous to get bitten by the
Okay,
rattlesnake.
let's go 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Off the strip Vegas stripper.
Or I didn't know about down Central Florida. That whole
Cafe Risque.
Yeah, Cafe Risque.
Oof, boy, I mean, the only time I've ever been was in 2006.
Right.
So that's 17 years ago, and they were rough as shit back then. So I can't even imagine what they look like now.
So that's what I'm just wondering.
Did y'all see the story about the guy in Mexico that had a Father's Day party, has hosted a Father's Day celebration for like all of his friends that were dads or something, and like it was strippers, like stripper. I saw it on Twitter.
I have not seen that. See, you need to send me that stuff for Trash on the Table.
And it was like strippers and like if you could get your picture taken with a stripper or something. I don't know. Anyway, for Father's Day, I'm like, pick another holiday.
Okay.
Wow. So I don't know if you guys saw the video, but last weekend, and I know you got a point here, but video started circulating about this dude at we talked about this on the air. Dunaway and Brown really weren't, and Rockstar, they weren't interested in talking about it. I just found it a little fascinating.
Bring it back up over here.
And we're going to see more and more of this as you see more cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And by the way, as sharks are getting hungrier and hungrier, but there was this dude at an Egyptian resort, his girlfriend's on the beach. You're hearing Stand By Me playing, and you see him get hit, and you see some blood come up, and then he's just oriented, and he starts screaming, and the tiger shark comes back and hits him again, and then it hits him another time. His legs go straight up in the air like this, but then it comes back final time, hits him in the head, he's gone. So obviously tiger shark ate him and killed him. But that was on camera. And
was his girlfriend taking the picture?
I mean,
whoever has a license.
Hey, she had a steady ass hand too.
Yeah, whoever has,
should not, because I'd be like, what the hell? Like, help the guy or whatever.
But nobody trying to help him. I mean, I guess what can you?
A dude finally came out in the boat when he was about in 10 pieces by then, and then I think just kind of picked him up, and then they went out and killed the shark. But
I guess maybe she had the life insurance policy and she was videoing the whole thing, making sure
turn it in.
Yeah, but that's one I've always said. I think getting eaten by an animal would probably be one of the worst ways to go.
Yeah,
because I think you would probably be conscious for just enough of it, and it would probably hurt.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, I might have a heart attack at some point, but I just still think that's a rough way to get eaten by a bear or,
Yeah.
Did y'all see the bear in Destin? The bear was in Destin while we were in Orange Beach.
Yeah, that was a little bitty black bear, though.
I was sad for that bear.
Yeah. He was lost. He probably got hit on the strip.
Wow.
Oh.
He was running up Floribama.
Bear.
I know. So, yeah.
Anyway.
Next round cocktail hour. It is brought to you by our friends at Blakelee's Bouquets, birthday flowers, funeral flowers, wedding flowers, whatever the occasion is. These guys can hook you up. They are great. Blakelee's Bouquets.com.
That one went a little bit all over the place.
That was a little crazy.
No, we had another one though.
Do you have any animal? What about you? Animal encounters? We never made it all the way around the table.
I mean,
here.
I'm sure. I don't think so. My dad, who lives in Mississippi, they came home from vacation one time and had a big ass, like copperhead coiled up on their back porch. And they called the police because they were like, we don't know what to do. And the police came out and the police were like terrified of it.
Yeah.
Like the police were like,
we're
not
scared too.
And then finally, I think the police called for like backup. And then
There's not some
woman police officer showed up and like cut its head off.
I was gonna say there's not someone in Mississippi who can come and handle the copperhead. I know.
I've got a friend, local restaurant. He's one of the owners. His name's shout out Justin. He left his door open last year. It was last summer, and he was out playing fetch for the dog, and then he came back in and he walks in the kitchen, and he said it felt like something like with a 2x4 hit his leg, and he looked down. It was a copperhead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would scare you.
Oh, and the after, the after pictures, damn snakes are. I really don't know what they're good for. I'd rather have a bunch of damn rats running around than snakes.
I saw one out walking Rooster. It was like in a construction site. We don't usually walk over there, but Sunday nobody was working. We wandered over, and there's like this. I thought it was a root at first. And I walked it, and it was about 4 feet long, and I jumped. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, I jumped out of my skin and ran. I think the dog came with me. I'm not sure. I just ran.
NH3425 had a bat in our house last spring. Had to get it out with a broom.
Those things are tough to get rid of too.
Those would scare me too. Bat bites you, you're getting shots. And I heard the rabies shots are no good. I heard they're in the stomach and it's a long ass needle. Michael said we had to kill a big rattlesnake at Lake Gunnersville this past weekend. It was huge. Somebody sent me a picture of a rattlesnake on Lake Martin about a month ago, and it was a big ass rattlesnake. And those are the ones, like, if you're going to get bitten, obviously you want to get bitten by something besides the rattlesnake, because I've heard the pain is crazy. Like, I saw a dude's arm on the aftermath that turned black.
No, I don't.
Can you imagine if you were like taking a piss in the woods and a rattlesnake got you?
This is why I don't piss in the woods.
Yeah. We were hiking out at Rocky Mountain National Park, and I joked with my friends. I was like, we see a snake, I'm out of here. So we get back to the car afterwards, and they showed me a picture. I had walked right. It was like under a rock, but I had walked right past it. And I was like, y'all were wise to not mention anything, because I never would have gotten out of the car until we got to the airport.
I know you wanted to mention Friday weddings.
Yes.
Is that a thing? Do people?
Well, you said.
No, my cousin got married on Friday night, which I was like,
one of my best friends
married on Friday night.
I was in the wedding. This is 25 years ago. But I was in the wedding. It was on a Friday night, and I thought it was strange. But apparently, costs are cut.
The venues are cheaper. Yeah. Well, anyway, I kind of thought afterwards. I was like, you know what? That was kind of cool. And now my whole weekend isn't consumed with weddings.
All day Saturday.
Right.
You know, have a brunch or something. I don't know, but then you're out of there.
Cool. Yeah.
I guess. I mean.
Shout out to my cousin too, that I found out when I was at my cousin's wedding. I guess she's not my cousin. I don't know what she is. Anyway, when I was at Hope's wedding, I found out my cousin, Kent, who lives in Chicago, watches every episode.
Oh, wow. Shout out, Kent.
So
thanks, Kent.
Hey, Kent.
West Loop, man. Big fan of that town, especially this time of year. I usually go once a summer, but I don't know if I'm going to make it this year. I absolutely love Chicago in the summer.
Great weather. Yeah, I was telling somebody about Taste of Chicago, all the fun. They've got it. That's a great town. Year round in the summer, they do summer right.
Yeah, summer's right. I mean, you can't really do it. I did it October one time, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think from about probably Thanksgiving through probably
you're rolling the dice.
Kind of sucks, yeah.
Because we went up to a wedding up there over New Year's, and like all weekend, I kept telling my husband it was beautiful. I'm like, this is not the Chicago. This is not. So sure enough, the morning we went to fly out, blizzard came in. I'm like, this is the Chicago I was telling you about.
The Architect Boat Tour, I do it every time.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it. It's the history of Chicago, but you see all the architect around when you're going down the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that. Gibson's has become obviously a tourist trap, but it's still fantastic. Yep. The Signature Room up top, just to see all of Chicago. And what I was surprised up the Signature Room is you see people have pools. And I'm like, when in the hell would you, like my pool, I was in it a little bit ago, swimming laps, and it was cold to me.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on the 4th of July.
But they're probably heated in Chicago, right? Yeah.
Guess they would have to be, but hell, but still you get out of the water.
Wife has a movie tour. Like she does like a movie tour. She has a movie tour company in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so you can go on her tour and she shows you like where different scenes have been filmed and tells you like the backstory and stuff. I think it's a pretty cool tour.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of really good Chicago films. The Untouchables, which not as good as it was.
Gangster ones, right?
Road to Perdition.
Well, what's his face? Who did 16 Candles and?
Oh yeah, John Hughes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you got Ferris Bueller, Breakfast Club,
all those.
all that. Yeah. Because my kids.
Home Alone.
So when Leighton and I lost that bracket challenge last year, and we were going to Salina, and we missed our flight and got stuck in Chicago for a day, she wanted to go to Ferris Bueller, but we just didn't have enough time. That was when we went to a Cubs game, and there was a tornado warning, and like all the Cubs workers, like dude, like 90 years old, he was like, I've never seen this in the entire history of the Cubs organization. Like, hell, I didn't think there was tornadoes in Chicago. I bring this kind of karma with us. Right. So, that's obviously what I just couldn't wait to fly.
How I ended up here.
The Alabama tornado.
Here we go.
Next round cocktail hour, we do it live. We appreciate your feedback in here. We got a few more minutes. If you got any questions for the girls, Brittany Wagner, Kelly Hunter. It's brought to you by our friends at Blakelee's Bouquets. Birthday flowers, new baby gifts, anniversary arrangements, funeral flowers, wedding flowers, anything you need. Go to blakeleesbouquets.com. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got a ton of different content we're doing all over the place. Working on some new stuff up here at Double Down Media, so that's exciting.
You're really busy.
Next round store.
Yeah,
I like this hat. Do you guys like the hat?
I gave both.
I like mine that I wore to the beach.
It did. It looked good. I gave my dad a lid, and I gave my husband one, and I gave them each a bottle of chicken cock.
Chicken cock
for Father's Day.
She actually drank bourbon on the show last week.
I saw that.
It was delicious. And my dad, Big Mike,
was Little T drinking?
Yeah, she was drinking beer.
And my dad actually gave a client of his a bottle of chicken cock too. So I sold 3 bottles last week. So
I like it. I like it. And hopefully one day we'll be talking more about chicken cock. Looking back here, we got a little bit. I drank some on Saturday
I really feel like that's what we're missing out is more talk about chicken cock on this show.
More talk about chicken cock.
Next round cocktail hour sponsor chicken cock.
I know. Brought to you by, but no, I like the lid. It's a good one.
Yeah. So we've got a ton of different not only hats, but shirts. We've got a rash guard now. I don't know if you guys
walked up
Friday. I came up.
That?
You wear it's like the long sleeve outdoor shirts that you wear when you're swimming.
I wear the pool. There's two reasons I wear it. First, for sun protection. Second, when I don't want people to see me skinned off. Very insecure about that kind of stuff sometimes.
Skinned off?
Yeah, like
naked?
Well, no, I mean just shirtless.
So I cracked up Friday. Came up here to get the 2 hats.
Like if you've been like funneling beers all day and you got a beer gut, right?
Come on, Brittany.
I have a beer gut now, and I haven't drank a beer in weeks. Yeah. What are you talking about?
We got a rash guard for you.
So on Friday when I came up to get the 2 hats, Little T and Kelsey are both sitting out in front wearing their matching rash guards and their matching. But I was like, is this like the Friday work attire that y'all?
I think I need a rash
guard. They both had them on.
Will the rash guard decrease my beer gut, or it just covers it?
It's just an excuse to wear a long sleeve with a hood.
I'll never. I got rash guard shamed one time. We were down at the beach, and this is when I was still married. So this is probably 7, 8-ish years ago. And we walked in because we always wanted the kids to wear the rash guards. Now, once they got to a point where they were like, rash guards aren't cool.
Because you don't have to put sunscreen on them then when you put rash guards on.
I never knew that's what they were called.
Yeah, and I thought that they would rather have the rash. I mean, it is a parent's way out, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about reapplying any of that stuff. But I walked into this shop where they've got a million bathing suits, and this is down on the coast. And there's probably a 21, 22-year-old girl working. She's obviously very tan. She had been beaching it up. Hey, where are your rash guards? What's a rash guard?
Exactly.
Like, how in the hell do you work in a place that sells swimsuits at the beach? That's what they're called.
They're called like swim shirts.
But apparently they didn't sell a lot of them because Patagonia used to have a bunch. J. Crew had a bunch, and they just don't even have them anymore. So
when you say rash
guard, the next round is selling them now.
Do you know what I think of when you say rash guard? I think of like
your UTI?
A piece of cloth that you put over a rash. Okay. You know, like ball sweat, like a rash guard, like a diaper, that's what I think of.
No. I wore mine yesterday.
We need to come
for
up with
fun?
a new name.
For business or pleasure?
It was both. I mean, I think it's stylish, light blue, which is a good summer color. It's got the hood on it, which is kind of cool. And Little T made me because she had to take a picture for the next round store. Really. Next round store. Yeah. You guys have any final words,
I'm
thoughts?
impressed that Little T can make you do something.
Yeah. So, I got a couple of things. So, Beer Olympics. Little T created that last year, the first week she worked here, and now she's like putting it on me. Like after 1 year, you can't stop the Beer Olympics. We're not doing this every 4 years. It's going to be an annual event. So working on that.
Second annual Beer Olympics.
Love for you guys to participate in that. And the other thing, just throwing it out.
Can we be judges?
Can you be judges?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just come out and drink if you want. You can actually be part of the content creators where you guys can do the interviews. We do post-event interviews.
I want to do the interviews.
We could be like Tara Lipinski and what the other guy, the figure skating guys.
Oh, we could commentate as they're doing it. Like, her boob just fell out.
Yeah.
Put that back in, girl.
Yep.
That did happen last year. And I
why I
can't
said
believe you heard about that because you didn't hear about it from us.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did hear about it from us.
Yes.
Well, how did you know the girl's name?
I know her.
Oh, okay.
And there were pictures of her on the
I think
pictures
she moved
of
though, right?
No.
Oh.
I don't think. I don't know.
That caused her to move out of town.
We could do the commentating. We would crush that.
I think we would.
Could we broadcast that live?
I don't.
If you can talk Scott out of being at
I could be like, oh, look, she needs a skin rash. Wait, what's it called?
A rash
Not
guard.
a skin rash. She needs a rash guard.
Do you wear a rash guard?
She has a rash.
No.
On
Scott's
her
got a
beer
pool.
gut.
Any of your kids, Scott Forrester, by the way, waiting for us to get done with this where he can get his ass home.
Do you even know what a rash guard is? I'm holding it like I'm
like
holding
that
a
you're
mic.
still.
It's a sun shirt.
I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
A sun shirt.
A sun shirt is a much better name.
Okay. A sun shirt. Okay, and then finally, what we had talked about a little bit
for the beer
is, I don't know if you guys are into this. I think it would be interesting to do it one time. Next round cocktail hour, straight edibles, the three of us. Take an edible an hour before we come on, and we have some great topics. I don't know about the feedback. I don't know if you guys want to see it. I think it would be very interesting.
Yeah, let's see if we get enough people.
I just think we could have a lot of fun one afternoon on edibles.
Oh, Lordy.
It's just a thought.
It's a thought.
Could be the best next round cocktail hour ever.
I
mean,
think my check's gonna need to be bigger that week.
You'll be fine. We'll bring snacks.
That's right.
Oh, then my beer gut will grow, and I'll need another
like
rash
edibles.
guard.
They could just tell you that your check was big, and you'd be like, okay, sure.
And that is the problem, is the after effect of wanting to eat.
Yeah.
Like I got up on I took a half on a Saturday night, this past Saturday night, and at like 4 a.m, I had just a big thing of hummus and those pretzel factory chips.
And an entire key lime pie.
I don't know if that's healthy.
See, I would go for like the key lime. I wouldn't go for like pretzels and hummus. I would be like.
And I did a blue Powerade. That was my meal of choice after the edible that night. So anyway, you guys let us know if you think edible
that's a good idea.
next round cocktail hour would be fun.
I trust you.
Think it would be very entertaining.
Viewers, can I have my family please vote? No.
And would you guys be interested, and we're literally off here in 1 minute, would y'all be interested in doing the Hot Wings Challenge for the next round cocktail hour?
Sure.
Are y'all afraid of heat?
I'm not terrified of heat.
I don't like meat that has a bone in it. I don't like to work for my
meat that has a bone in it.
I only have fillets.
What about if we did boneless for you?
I can't even go there.
I don't like the after effects of that. It upsets my stomach.
No, you're right.
Could we take some Pepto or like I have some over-the-counter oils that will help?
No. You and your voodoo witch oils.
I can sage you.
You can sage me.
And you'll be fine.
Oh,
Again, we appreciate, love your feedback on this. Every Tuesday, we do this at 3:30. It's Next Round Cocktail Hour, brought to you by Blakelee's Bouquets. Anything you need there in the arrangement flower world, birthday flowers, baby gifts, funeral flowers, wedding flowers, Blakelee'sBouquets.com. Kelly Hunter, Brittany Wagner, follow them. What are y'all's handles again? I don't even know.
Mine's at Brittany MS Girl.
I know yours is. I need to. I got to figure that out.
It's like Kelly.
It's something.
One of your last names.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe. Coming up tomorrow, live show 9 to 1. Next round, looking forward to that. I don't even know what we've got planned tomorrow.
It's a show.
I think we've got some pretty big names tomorrow, don't we, Scott? Do you remember?
Yeah, we got.
I think Jeff Grimes.
On the show.
Yeah, OC for Baylor. We also have.
I think I worked with
Taylor-
Jeff Grimes. Did he?
Taylor Tannenbaum from the ACC Network. She's going to join us too.
And Auburn commitment Walker White.
Yeah, Walker White. I think big time quarterback commit, right? Yep. So there you go. That's tomorrow.
Good stuff.
And some other stuff, and you never know what's going to happen. So appreciate you tuning in. Like, thumbs up, and that's going to do it for us on the Next Round Cocktail Hour. See you next week.